Alrighty, I think we're on. Got about 16 people in, which is fantastic. Hopefully this webcam, I don't know how this webcam is going to go, being a dodgy old MacBook Pro, but we'll do our best. This is one of the first live streams. So I've done a couple of live streams in the past, but one of the first live streams that I've done, certainly this year at least anyway. So I appreciate you guys being in. A little bit new to all of this. I think we've got a chat on the right-hand side, so feel free to go ahead and just add in any form of questions that you like, and we can pop a few up and ask. But yeah, I am super new to this. How do I pop a question up? DD Christo is in. This is better. Starting to see some people pop in, which is awesome. Yeah, so guys, it's a bit of an impromptu live stream tonight. I just thought I'd just jump on and do a Q&A with you all. I've actually been doing a little bit on TikTok over the last week or two. And it's been going well. It's actually been going really well, engaging with the audience there on TikTok. I've also got the Instagram page going for the Aussie Flipper, and also flipped it as well. I'm just looking at potentially doing a little bit more live streams just in general, whether that's Instagram or TikTok or here on YouTube. I just want to see if it's something that you guys firstly are even interested in doing. If you are, I'm then looking to try and see what time slot is best to do it as well. I'm picking 5 p.m. because it just works conveniently for me. Married at First Sight and Survivor is on in a couple of hours' time, and I just wanted to tick this off before I could sit back and watch that for the rest of the evening. So yeah, look, there's a question already there from someone with regards to live selling, and this is kind of the process of live selling for me, is to just learn the experience of just live communication to begin with. I'm not on Whatnot. I'm not on eBay Live. I'm not selling anything live. But I do think live selling has a place in the future, and I think a lot more people are going to jump on and sell live in the future. So it is something that I am thinking about getting into, and it's not going to be Whatnot. It will be eBay Live. I just need to get into the weeds of how to do eBay Live, and I might start to run my first show or two. But cool to see so many people in. I think we've got 46 people in so far already. I don't know how to put up a question on screen here. I have no idea how to do that, being a newbie to all of this, but I have seen in lives that people are able to do that. So not sure how we'll be able to do that, but if you have any questions with regards to eBay, guys, feel free to put them into the comment box, and I'll be able to get into it and answer them. I'm going to be on here for about an hour, just answering any of your eBay questions that you might have. Hopefully you're all selling well. Hopefully you're all listing hard and selling a heap. But yeah, let's get into it. Who's got a question that we can kick things off with here? Loving the Pokemon ETBs in the background. I actually just bought the Ascended Heroes. This one here I bought. Oh God, I bought that there for about, I think it was $100 in store, wasn't it? I bought a few things. Actually got it from an EB Games. One of the guys at EB Games said that he had one out the back, and I was able to go out the back and pinch one off him. So he was very, very kind, because the pre-order had gone through and everybody was lining up out the front, and then I swooped in at about 10 a.m. and he was just a nice guy, and he said, I've got one left over on pre-order that I'm happy to sell if you want to buy it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So a lot of those ETBs that you can see behind me there, they're going to go on into the investment box, I guess. I'm not going to do anything with them just yet. I'm just going to hold them on, because I do believe that Pokemon will be a moneymaker down the line, like it is now with the vintage stuff from the 1990s. So individual singles, I'm grading, I'm selling, I'm buying Pokemon cards on Whatnot. But I do think that those sealed products back there are going to be a pretty good long-term hold. And whenever a new set comes out, I'm going to buy an ETB and at least hold on to it. No, I know some will do better than others, but yeah, we've got Brian there. Brian says, love the channel, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Keep it sealed. 100% we'll be keeping it sealed. We've got, do you run store campaigns? If so, what metrics? Run store campaigns as in markdown sales, would you mean by a campaign there? I don't really do too many markdown sales other than the key times of year. So, your Black Fridays and things like that. I don't really run any of my own markdown sales. So yeah, I don't think you need to. If you're pricing up your items correctly, there shouldn't be a need to ever do a markdown sale because your price points are just correct from the get-go. So yeah, that would be the only thing that I would say on that. Got a lot of comments coming into this, which is fantastic, guys. Keep chatting away in the chat box. Let's have a look. What else have we got in here? You would need external software like StreamYard or Ecamm to put questions on stream. Okay, that's cool. I've actually got a StreamYard account, so maybe I could actually get that going for the next live. What I'm thinking of doing, guys, let me know. Just like, obviously you're here now for this call. We've got 74, 78 odd people in the live, which is fantastic. I'm thinking of doing it as a Wednesday night live. Now, I'd love your opinion and thoughts on that. Would you like to do this time slot each week? Because I want it to be something that's continuous and just like a TV show. You guys know that I'm going to be here, 5 p.m. my time, Queensland time, every Wednesday. So if that's a time slot that can work for you, let me know in the comments here on this chat, and I'll try and pencil it in again for next week. Well, not try. I will pencil it in again for next week. Got one but opened it. Connie, how did you go? If anybody has pulled and opened these Pokemon cards recently, the Ascended Heroes, did you pull any grails? I'd love to know. Let me know in the chat here. Unfortunately, here in New Zealand, our eBay games are now fully closed. That's right. eBay games has shut down in New Zealand. It's such a shame because I thought that they were pumping here in Australia. Maybe they are. I don't know. We've got Tony in from the UK. Hello, Tony. What time is it over there? It'd be fairly early over there, I'd imagine. But appreciate you being on. Best way to purge listings below $20, 20% off now. Look, for me, it was, I had my backstory for those of you who either do or don't know is I had 2,500 active listings in my store about 2 years ago. In this very garage that you're looking at upstairs in my townhouse third bedroom, I had a bedroom that was totally full of single DVDs that were priced at like $10 to $15. And I looked at all of that and I looked at it and I went, I'm actually not making any amount of profit for the work that I'm doing to list up what was 2,000 additional items in my store. And I went, how the hell am I going to get rid of these products? And in the end, it was Facebook Marketplace, bulk listing. I think I sold 2,000 single DVDs that were never going to sell for much, and partial DVD sets as well. I think I sold them off for about $250. Like it was a loss overall because I would have bought them all for $2 to $3 in thrift stores over the journey. But I got rid of them for $250, and I took it as a very, very important lesson that you should not be trying to sell cheap stock on eBay, especially if you've got a 9-to-5 job. If you're working a 9-to-5 and you want eBay to be your thing that gets you an extra couple of $1,000s a year to go away on holiday or to pay off the mortgage a little bit more, why would you slog yourself with those $10 DVDs that make you 32 cents in profit? I don't know. Like I'm doing this here where if 50% of my working hours each week is eBay, 50% of my working hours is content, which is still eBay. So I don't know whether or not I'm a full-time eBay seller or I'm a part-time eBay seller because I'm full-time hours on eBay, but only half of my hours are spent actually selling on eBay, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit of a weird dynamic for me. But, I just don't think even I, doing 20 hours a week, need those $20, sub $20 products in my store because it doesn't make anyone that sells them any significant amount of profit. So you would need to have 5, 10, 15, 20,000 listings in your store, multiple numbers of staff around you to be able to get the job done with sub $20 items for the profit to grow into something that's substantial. But it's not a game that I should be playing or any of us in here should be playing if we're not doing this at a full-time level. Less product, higher average sale price. I speak about it a lot on the channel, and I'm sorry for bombarding everybody with repeated information. It's just the answer. And there's new people that stumble across the YouTube channel every single day, and they're like, I didn't even know that sell-through rate was important and average sale price should be high. I didn't even know this. And I said, well, there's a lot of people that watch every week that are sick of hearing me saying it. But that's why I say it, because new people come in all the time. Have you used the eBay satchels from Australia Post shop? I haven't. I go into the Australia Post and I buy packets of 100 for the padded mailers, and I buy packets of 20 or 30 medium track post envelopes, and I get my boxes from Bunnings Warehouse. That's it. It's pretty standard. I could probably save money if I'm buying generic satchels or things like that, but I don't know, it's like $1 for a padded mailer from Australia Post, and It gets the job done well. So that's all I use. And I don't really investigate. Maybe I should. Maybe I could save some money if I did some investigating, but I'm not too stressed about it. Evening from Rusty of Oz. Hello, Rusty of Oz. Do you use the eBay shipping labels and then print them yourself? I don't do eBay labels. No, I don't do eBay labels. I use the Australia Post, My Post Business. All of my sales get fed into there, and then I'm printing off with my Dymo label writer. I've got the 5XL that does a great job for me here. And I use the price points that the Australia Post, My Post Business gives me, which is on a band 5 level. Now, I should say for anybody on this call, have you got your band 3 Australia Post, My Post Business discount? Because that can save you up to 30% if you're not a My Post Business. I'm going to put it in the chat. Retail, it's retail $B311. And I want to see if I can pin. Can I pin? Yeah, I can. There you go. Anyone jumping into this chat won't get it. But that right there is the band 3 Australia Post, My Post Business discount. And I highly encourage you guys, go and throw that in. Throw that into the system. Retro Game Reach, here he is. Just remembered I have a Celebrations ETB stashed somewhere. Well, that's going to be worth a lot of money, Ruben. That's awesome. That is absolutely incredible. I've got a 151, I think, in there, and a Prismatic Evolutions as well, ETBs. And then I've got the Mega Evolutions. I've got 2 of those. So yeah, I'm building them up. I'm building up a bit of a Pokemon haul here. Promote store by percentage. Sorry, is that what you meant by campaigns? Promoted campaign? Yeah, I am promoting at 3%. 3% across the board, no matter what the item is. I think if you haven't got 100 sales under your belt, you should be doing 8%. Upwards of 8, 5 to 8%, I think is pretty handy when you're first just starting out. But if you've been up and running for a while and you know how to list up a product for the right price and you know it's going to go on to sell well, 2 to 3% at a bare minimum. You can account for a good 80 to 90% of your sales coming through now via promoted listings with the new changes last year. So understand that you will be paying 15, 16% in total fees on that 2 to 3%. But if you're established, that should be all you should have to pay. You shouldn't need to pay any more. Hopefully that answers that question. Thrifting the Gold Coast is easy mode. This is a good one, President Not So Sure. President Not Sure, I should say. Look, it's good, but I'm spending a lot of time out in these thrift stores that you just aren't seeing. So I'm giving you a highlight reel of my local thrift stores. So every single product that you see in a 20-minute video, of course, like I don't really even show the bad stuff or the high price stuff or the 4 thrift stores that I went to where I didn't buy any item. And I should probably show you guys that a little bit more because that paints a realer picture. YouTube is all about retention. It's just keeping you guys there and watching. So I'm very conscious about not putting in the dud stuff and just putting in the highlight reel types of product. So yeah, look, it's good. I definitely can buy a bunch of stuff. I'll show you this one that I bought today. This was great. This was a DVD VCR combo player in fantastic working order, and Kate's ripped the tag off, but it was from an RSPCA op shop, and I bought it for $15 and it sells for $150, and it plugs in and it's all tested and working. And this thing, speak about sell-through rate. This thing has 1 active listing for the model number, and there are 14 sales for that model number. 1 active listing for 14 sales. This thing's going to sell tomorrow. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, look, there are good products out in these Gold Coast thrift stores. I think truly there's good product out in everybody's thrift stores. It just comes down to how often you're out there, and I'm out there quite a bit. So yeah, the more you're out there, the better your chances are. Prolific 6513, thanks for being here. How do you prove to the ATO what you paid for a certain item is truthful, especially Whatnot Flea Market? I've never been audited, but I worry how to prove that. Do they require proof? The ATO does absolutely require proof. This would be via receipts. I run a cash journal, so whenever I go to the flea market, I'm just recording a cash journal of the items that I bought with the ATM withdrawal. And then from there, my accountant on a quarterly basis, when I do my BAS submission and I pay my taxes, I'm giving her a supply of my cash journal. showing the itemized list of the products that I bought with that withdrawal. Now, I don't know how much you're selling, but I can probably say that the volume that you're selling, the ATO isn't really too stressed about the amount of volume that you're doing via cash. As a business, big businesses are doing millions and millions and millions of dollars, and the ATO are more concerned about them versus the side hustle eBay seller. Having said that, though, you do still need to do things correctly and buy the book, and part of that buy the book is having a cash journal. So that would be my best answer for you for that one there. You could use Flipit as well and put your data into Flipit so you got a full understanding of what's cash, what's card. Yeah. Great channel, bro. Do you think eBay is same, better, or going downhill? George down under Australia. Look, have a look at their stock prices. eBay is trending up, and their Depop acquisition recently is a very, very good thing for the platform. I liked it in the sense that it was just good health-wise for eBay as a business. They're going to get a lot of younger people coming into the platform. They are going to help Depop in the next couple of years sell better and attract that whole cross-pollination is just going to pull a lot of younger people across naturally to eBay. But then I think they'll pull the plug on Depop and they'll pull all of their customers across, and a lot of their younger generation customers are going to be selling on eBay, and that's going to help things like eBay Live, the live selling function that eBay are trying to bring in. They need younger people using that software and service that they're trying to build. So I think that whole Depop acquisition was just brilliant. It shot their share price up to well over $100, I believe it's sitting at. So do I think it's same, better, or going downhill? I don't know. Best it's ever been, if not better. In my opinion, I have no problems with eBay. I have no problems with the fees on eBay. Why are people complaining here on YouTube about the fees of eBay? I don't get it. It's one of the best setup things that you could possibly have for an online store. You don't need to pay a cent until your item goes on to sell. It's beautiful. Millions of people can see our listings, and then we go, oh, thanks for that. Yeah, you found us that customer over in Ecuador. It's 13% of the total cost of sale. That is amazing. If you had a website, you paid, and you got traffic sent into the website, no one could even turn up to the website and even want to buy your item, and you've had to pay to get them to even have a look. Just to complain about eBay's fee structure is just, I could go on for a while about that, but I won't. Still not selling to the USA. Yeah, Damien. Yeah, good point. No, I'm not. Pure laziness more than anything. But I think Trump came out the other day and said that it was now 15% tariffs, which isn't cool. That's obviously not going to help the situation in trying to get product into the USA. So that's maybe really not want to dive into the weeds of how to get it all set up properly at all. If not, it's done the opposite, where it's made me want to turn away from international for quite a while. The monthly sales that we're getting is still about $10,000 in revenue per month domestically, selling stock around Australia. And if I can do $120,000 every single year on eBay and net the $50,000 to $60,000 that we net, we list $400 worth of live product every single day on eBay. And that nets us about $10,000 in revenue now because we're buying better product than we were in previous years. So I don't think I need international personally, which might sound strange considering we're only 8% of the entire eBay marketplace, us here in Australia. So I'm only speaking to a small pool of eBay customers. But again, the customers are wanting the products that I'm choosing to list up because I'm doing the research before I buy the item to say, hey, there are a lot of good data to say that this product is going to go on to sell well. So there's enough of us here in Australia to buy my items. I've only got 500 items in store. There's millions of buyers on eBay that are trying to buy items. I've only got 500 to sell. I don't think I need to dive into eBay international postage just yet. Luton Co says, hey, how are you? I'm well. Thank you very much. Love the Carrara markets. Haven't been for ages. Hope to see you soon. From Michael Black 8317. Thank you very much, Michael. The Carrara markets are fantastic. I think the Carrara markets have had a developer buy it, which is annoying. I do think that it is in its last legs. I think there's going to be at least a year left on it. I don't think it's going to be around for too much longer. But yeah, it's great for now, and I'll probably expand into other areas. Bean Lee's really good. I've been going to Bean Lee, and then I've been going up to Mount Gravatt as well. You've got the Yatla one. You guys won't know that if you're not from the Gold Coast, but what I'm trying to say is there's a few other opportunities around as well. Why don't you add tax in your software? Oh, sorry, Brian What did Brian say? I sell car parts on eBay, have a store with 3,000 items. When postage prices go up, do you take the hit or do you pass it on to the buyer? I take the hit. Brian, because the revenue is the revenue on eBay. When you're doing your pricing research, whatever that product goes on to sell for, postage comes out of it. So you can only go by what the value of the item is. So you kind of have to wear it. You can't have a product that sells on eBay for $30 and then go, oh, Australia Post has bumped up their price, I'm now listing for $35, because the product's still selling for $30. So you have to decide, do I now still want to sell that product for $30, or do I not want to even sell it at all now because I can't make money based on the postage? A very big piece of information that I can give you guys to eliminate your fears around postage and the increases of postage, and maybe even for your 3,000 car parts store, Brian, is sell products that are worth more money. Because the postage prices are only going to be that $10 to $20 to $30 worth of an amount. So if you're trying to sell a product for $60 and your postage is $30 because it's a big, bulky, heavy item, that's 50% of your revenue is sunk into postage cost. And that's a much more of a bigger issue than selling a $200 product that has $30 worth of a postage charge. The percentage of postage there is, I don't know what it is, it's like 15, 20%. That's so much better and so much more alleviating of a stress concern than looking at a 50% share on a $60 product with $30 in shipping. So you could solve this whole postage issue and Australia Post's postal rises that keep happening. You could just eliminate your concern of that whenever it happens, but just selling higher average sale price product. Ruben in here is selling watches. Retro Game Reach. He's selling watches for like $500, $600, $1,000, $10,000. He'll insure it potentially, but he's got eBay to back him up for insurance, so he probably doesn't need to even insure it. He can sell that watch for $8, $9 with track postage. That's like 1% of his $8,000 sale. So when you start to think about the breakdown of the revenue and you go, okay, a higher average sale price is just going to be a better situation for the postage issue. Postage issue resolved. So take that with you. Why don't you add tax to your software in your software? So what it is on Flipped It is it's giving you a pre-tax amount. So you will then go and pay your taxes. So that profit amount that you see on Flipped It, for those that have got Flipped It, you're functioning into eBay, you're getting all of your eBay data come through, and then it's presenting you with the profit amount. From there, you'll give that information to your accountant, and then you'll go ahead and you'll pay your taxation on it. So we haven't built the taxation side of it into Flipped It, where it's like a complete take home after taxes have been taken out. It's just an awareness of, this is how much money I made, this is how much money I actually need to pay taxes on now. And I think a lot of us are trying to sell on eBay, and we literally don't know how much of the product that's gone on to sell is profit. We know how much it's sold for. We can hopefully remember how much we paid for it if we're tracking through a spreadsheet. But if we're not tracking through a spreadsheet and we're just aimlessly buying and listing and selling, and we're trying to just hopefully keep on top of our numbers, well, we won't keep on top of our numbers, because you need an attention spent on that every single day to keep on top of it. Or you could hook up to Flipped It and literally just have everything sync across in a heartbeat, and a profitability is just shown to you on screen, and then you go to your accountant and say, that's how much money I made. What do I have to pay in taxes? So that's why we don't have that in there. Wednesday works with me. Eco Collectify. I love it. I love it. I'm thinking, Cheesy's in here as well. Hey, Cheesy. I'm thinking of doing this every single week, guys. Every week on a Wednesday, 5 p.m. Queensland time, 5 to 6. We're 23 minutes in right now. We have 94 people on this call. I appreciate you being here for this. Thinking of doing it each week. Just a Q&A, just a chit-chat, just a hello. Let me know if you guys are wanting this moving forward. Right. Where was I? I'm trying to work through all these comments one by one, guys. All right. Let me just start to chew through some of these, because there's a lot. Connie got a couple of good hits in the Pokemon ETB. So it does have a good hit rate then, is what you're saying, Connie. That's awesome. Leo says, love your work, Matt. You have heaps of great tips. Thank you very much, Leo. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Tony Armstrong, 7:06 a.m. in the UK, and he's tuning in. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Do you get to the other swap meets and flea markets North Brisbane? Not so much North Brisbane, but I do the one in Mount Gravatt, South Brisbane. And then there's 2 or 3 others that are sort of between Brisbane and Carrara markets. Midweek mayhem markdowns. Yeah, no, I don't do any midweek mayhem markdowns at all. You don't need to if you get your price right to begin with. How do consignments work? From Gamer Geek for Life number 3. I have a friend that wanted me to sell his stuff. What advice would you give? The advice that I would give is to just cleanly say 50-50. Literally just say 50-50, whatever it goes on to sell for after fees, profit, and cost of goods gets taken out of it, plus GST, if you're selling over $75,000 a year, I will then give you the 50% share of that. So if you sell a $100 product, after fees, postage, and cost of goods, it works out to a $60 return, $30 each worth of profit. And if you kind of detail it like that to the person, you're both making about 30% there off the revenue. And when I'm doing my private picks and I'm doing my bulk buys like I always do to keep this store ticking over, I'm buying at about 33% worth of what the revenue is. I say it all the time. I've got the 3X rule. The 3X rule is when I see a product, if it's $100 and it sells for $300 on eBay, I'm going to go ahead and buy the item. And I'm not going to do it if it's anything more than that because it doesn't make me enough profit. So that's my standard basic rule. And if you went with that on a 50% share of the profits, you might find that you make yourself about that 30%. So it works out fairly fair, I think, if you go with a 50-50 split. Hopefully that all makes sense. How long are normally stuck with an item? Well, that's so hard to say because some sell in an hour and some sell in 90 days. But on average, I turn my store over every 90 days. And I've got 500 and let me show you the numbers. Because we've got the baby store, we've fallen a little bit in our sell-through. Oh, I've got the baby store. There's the numbers on the baby store. 27 active, 17 orders, which is really quite good sell-through. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going in that baby store, by the way. eBay maybe is signed into the main. No, both of them are baby store. So it's so weird. I've got I'm logged into the same store. One says 22 orders and one says 17 orders. This one is spaced out because I've only sold 17 items. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say here is because of the averages, I average about 500 odd active listings. I've got about 500 sales over the last 90 days. So I'm basically selling my entire store every 90 days. And I think that's what everybody should be aiming for. On your 90-day total that I just showed you there, what you want to see is how many active listings have I got? Do I have 90 to 100% of that quantity in my orders tab? Now, if you've got 100 active listings and 20 sales, you're going to be making more sales. You could be turning over faster than you currently are. But if you've got 100 active listings and 95 sales next to your name, then you're in the sweet spot. Your store is selling through efficiently. So hopefully that answers that question for you. You want to be doing one sale on average per day for every 100 active listings. That's something that I always say. Thanks for the code, Matt. I used it and a couple of days ago and it's still working. David, it's going to work for 12 weeks. You've got that available to you for 12 weeks. Leo says that discount code is a godsend. So guys, in the pin tab, I have got a Band 3 AusPost discount code that you guys can use for 12 weeks and you'll save up to 30% on your MyPost business postage. That beats eBay labels like you wouldn't believe. So go ahead and utilize that. Is that an affiliate link that you make money from? No. Do you need to mention that to everyone? No. No. Can I be a nice guy? Can I literally just be a nice guy and give you guys good discount? Unbelievable. No, it's not an affiliate link. I just found it and I thought I'd just give it to you guys. How much of yours? Because like you benefiting with 30% discount in postage and me benefiting 30%. How does that, like me giving it to all of you guys doesn't hurt me? So I'm totally cool to give it to you. Hell, I'm hurting myself in telling you guys what to go out and buy every single week at thrift stores. How much of your sales are through Facebook Marketplace, if any? 0%. This year, I haven't sold an item on Facebook. I don't sell on Facebook. Like I said, millions of customers. on eBay out there, and you've got 35 items on eBay and you're complaining that there's no sales, that's a you issue. Like, it's just the acceptance that you don't have the knowledge just yet. And that's totally cool, because I didn't have the knowledge for 3 years selling on eBay. It took me ages. And now I know how to sell on eBay. I'm educating people how to sell on eBay. And it's just once the knowledge is obtained, the sales start to come. There are enough people on the eBay platform that are swimming around out there right now that are ready to buy. You've just got to position them with the right product at the right price, and you'll make great sales. So I don't have to sell anywhere else. I can just put all of my time and attention into eBay. How much have we? Oh, yeah, we did that. Store promotion is different to a listing promotion. It's a different campaign. I don't know. I don't know. I just promote everything at 3%. That's all I do. Nothing else. No other bells or whistles. I just promote at 3% and that's it. The reality of reselling is a grind. Love it. Keeps this boomer alive. Cheesy, it's actually not a grind. Truthfully, it doesn't need to be a grind. If you know the 5% of what makes the 80% happen, doing the 5% isn't a grind. And that's a massive unlock that I've realized over the last couple of years. I used to spend my time on the other 95%, and that was a grind. And then I realized, actually, it's just this 5% that I need to get right, and I get 80% of the results. So once you know what the 5% is that you have to chip away and work on each day, it's not. I don't see eBay as a grind. We do $120,000 a year in sales. We do $50,000 to $60,000 in profit, and we work 20 to 25 hours per week from an eBay, like, sit down, list and ship and go and source. 20 to 25 hours a week, and we make 60 odd K in profit. So it wasn't that. In my first 3 years, I was working 80 to 90 hours a week, 40 hours on social media because I didn't know how to edit a video, 40 hours on eBay because I didn't know how to sell, didn't know how to sell an item. But then you learn, like anything, you just learn, I don't need to do that. These items sell well. I'll focus on what's working. And then suddenly that 5% is realized, and you know what the 5% is, and your hours spent on the job becomes less and less and less each and every week, to a point where you're only doing 20 to 30 hours a week at most, and you're getting $1,000 in profit take home that you then go and pay taxes on. Not too bad. Hey, Matt, just wondering if you ever go to garage sales. Bailey, I don't go to garage sales. If I went to garage sales, you would see them in YouTube videos. And if you've watched my YouTube channel, you'll see that there's not a lot of garage sale videos. It's my only day off. I work 6 days a week. I wake up on a Sunday morning and start my week at the flea market. And then Monday, I'm doing the Monday morning post, and it goes all the way through to about Friday midday. And then I kind of switch off from Friday midday, have Saturday off, and then get back into it on Sunday. Hey, Perry. Perry had his 10th birthday. Hello. Say hi to everybody. It's dinner time for him in 28 minutes when we get off this call. We're going to do an hour, and he's already starting to think it's 6 p.m. Hey, he's so cute. Sorry, mate. He's very hairy. Where were we? Yeah, so for that reason, Fridays and Saturdays are my days off, and then I go to the flea, and I've got 20 garage sales in front of me when I go to the flea. Much more efficient. The store promotion puts you at the top. Yeah, I'm going to move past the promoted stuff. Apologies. Combos are a risk. If one goes, then normally all goes. Totally, but you can still sell them for parts. Even at a $15 buy, I'm still profiting on it for parts. So I think Cashies is a great spot to look for the DVD VCR combo players. I just sold a 3,000 US resin handmade tabletop on Etsy, on ATO. I don't know what this means. Basically, but it helps my other business. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Is it worth promoting on eBay? Yes, 3%. Michael says hello. Hello, Michael. What are your thoughts on all these AI companies being set up to assist sellers? AI on eBay. Here we go. We can talk about this. And will Flip to be setting up a similar thing? It's so green right now, the AI world, and especially the AI world with eBay. You see a lot of AI companies that are trying to tell you exactly what your product's worth, like going into the data, obtaining the data and saying that this product is actually worth this range of pricing. I think we could see it ourselves, even with the eBay platform itself. Even eBay's suggested price points are wrong. And these AI third-party softwares going in, they don't have the human eye to know that that is a pre-owned, that is a special edition, limited edition, whatever the case may be. They are so inaccurate. You want to go out? There you go. They're so inaccurate. And but based on that inaccuracy, I really am concerned for people that are just starting out on eBay that think AI is the answer to solve all of their problems with getting started on eBay, because there is so much misguided information with people going on ChatGPT. And I know out of the 98 people in this call right now that there are a number of you that are using ChatGPT to answer your eBay issues, and ChatGPT is giving you incorrect information. But like ChatGPT, we think it's gospel. We think, oh, just because ChatGPT said that, we need to go ahead and do it like that. And it's often wrong when it comes to eBay, unfortunately, in what I've seen. Now, in the future, does AI get improved? And then the apps that show you what items should be listed up for becomes more accurate? I think that'll definitely eventually happen. But adopting it and taking a hold of it right now, I think it's too far in its infancy to go there. And I don't touch any form of AI when it comes to buying an item and selling it and pricing it up, because you have amazing tools right in front of you with the eBay app that will literally itemize everything out for you from high to low. And you can pick the price point that you want to list your item up for. And that will get your item sold a whole lot better than picking a dodgy piece of software that somebody's thrown up to try and make a couple of bucks. How do you work out sell-through rate? Go into your filters and click sold on your search, and you'll see a list of sales, and then click it off sold and have a look at your active list. And if there are more sales versus active, that means your sell-through rate is high. And you can do it based on percentages, and I think anything over 50% is a good sell-through rate. Cheesy eBay Live will be something that I'll be doing at some point this year. Michelle says, congratulations, baby coming. Kate looks fantastic. Yes, she does. She's doing really well, Kate. She's had zero morning sickness. We just had a 20-week scan yesterday or the day before, and that's all going really, really well. So we don't need another scan now until obviously the birth. So really, really good news there. That's exciting. Can't wait for July. When you first started and went through the learning curve and failing, losing money, not making sales, did you ever think about quitting and going back to your sports job? That's the secret for why I'm still here today. Not once did I ever have an iota of thought about quitting what I was doing. It was kind of, for me, when I first got into it, it was like footy was going to be a world that I wasn't going to be able to get back into for at least 2 years. COVID just hit business so hard that discretionary spend into a football club was going to be kind of the last priority for a business. Like, my job was in sponsorship. So if I was speaking to Toyota, I said, hey, Toyota, I know you've obviously not been able to sell any cars because no one's driving right now. Can you sink that 1.2 million back into the footy club for another year? Like, in general terms, that's what I was having to try and do. So I got out of the footy world and I went, no, look, for now, I'm not going to do that, because that's a tough job. That is a hard job when nobody has any money to then ask them for money and come back on board. So I stepped away, and then I realized that I wasn't going to get back to my footy job for at least 2 years. So I said to myself, for the next 3 years, you are just going to learn how to do it. And it took me every bit of those 3 years, because I didn't have what I now have in place for those that don't know how to go about selling on eBay. And I try to fast track the learning curve by things like the Launch Lab, the 12-week program that we've got, whereby somebody that literally doesn't know how to sell on eBay off the street can be pulled in, and they can have 100 sales and make themselves 3 or 4 grand in profit within 12 weeks. Like, if only I had that when I first started back in 2020 during COVID, I would have had a fantastic first year. I would have not made a million mistakes that I made over 3 years. It wouldn't have taken me 18 months to move out of home. The only thing standing between you and eBay and winning is knowledge. And I try every single week to give you as much possible information as I can here on YouTube. And I've set up these other programs where I can now help people on a more personalized basis. But if you can just get over that hurdle of the knowledge barrier, once you're over that, and you know how to do it, it then just becomes a commitment issue. Like, how dedicated, how much do you want it? How big is the goal that you've got? What's the big reason why? For me, the big reason why was that I just wanted to keep doing it as a full-time job. I wanted all of my income to come from making YouTube videos, getting guys into 12-week programs, giving them great results, building software. You can now work on your eBay finances with this software tool. Everything that I've done is to try and not be the guy that I was when I first started 6 years ago. Everything that I build and create and put out into the world is to think about the guy back in 2020 that didn't know what he was doing and give him all of the tools to get him up to speed to be in the position that I'm in now 6 years later. It doesn't need to be 6 years. It could be 6 months if you have the right information and the right knowledge. And I'm only here to try and whoever wants it, and there'll be people that don't want it, but those that want it, those that actually believe that eBay could be a thing that gets them 15, 20K towards their mortgage paid off each year, on top of their 9-to-5 job, with a 20-hour per week side hustle that generates that income, I'm here to teach it to you. And I love it. So if so, how do you motivate yourself to keep going? I want it to be a full-time job. That's my motivation. So you're going to have to work doggedly hard to learn how to do it so it can be your full-time job. And it still is to this day, my full-time job. Katie, hello. Thank you for being in here. We're doing a bunch of Q&As. Hey, Matt, I hope you and Kate are doing well. I'm at the point where I'm about to hit the GST threshold. Congratulations, Vinzi. For the first time, any chance of doing a tutorial vid on reporting GST, selling secondhand stock? Not so much from me in the sense of doing any form of accounting, because I'm not an accountant, so I'm not going to go into the weeds of making an accounting video. I've got a fantastic accountant that set me up when I said that I was at the 75K threshold, and you can't hide that. The eBay algorithm will spit it out to the ATO and say that this account has made the $75,000 quota. They're going to hit you up the ATO and say, hey, you've got to register for GST. So you can't get around it. You've just got to go through it and do it. And it's not as scary as you think. It ends up working out to be about 5 or 6% that you've got to pay on your total revenue once it's all said and done, because you can claim on your purchases for the GST component of your purchases. So it brings the 10% down to 5 or 6% that you've got to pay on a quarterly basis. And I use Xero as well for that as well. So you can go onto Xero, create an account, get an accountant, get it all set up, get your accountant in, looking at your data. They can do your BAS claim for you on a quarterly basis, and you pay your GST, you pay your tax, and everything's kosher. The issue in Brisbane is that op shops are way, way overpriced on almost everything. They are, but there's also great op shops in Brisbane that aren't overpriced, and there's also products in Brisbane that are going up on shelves that are profitable. So I wouldn't blanket it as just being no hope for those in Brisbane. I've got Cheesy messaging me. Cheesy, if you're still in the live and you're sending me messages, this is cheeky. Hey, you free tomorrow? Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you know. Right. What kind of things do you claim back on tax yearly? Fuel, stationery, etc. Look, anything that is a business expense, you can claim as a business expense. So anything you're having to go and do for business purposes that is an expense for you to run your business, you can, in layman's terms, claim as a business expense. Now, how much can you claim for certain things? That's where you check in with your accountant. I hope you guys are speaking to an accountant or any accountant for financial advice when it comes to your eBay side hustle. It's not scary. It's really not scary. Just have a conversation, say, what do I need to do? Things like Flipped It are going to help you massively, because an accountant's going to say to you, how much profit are you making? And if you don't have that amount, that's going to be a nastier conversation to have with your accountant versus, oh, I use this software and the data has come in and it shows me that I'm making $20,000 in profit. How can I make this a better situation to not pay as much in tax? And then from there, you're armed with a lot better information to be able to give to your accountant. So I think the tools of Flipped It are yeah, it's our software, and yeah, we try to sell it hard, but it's just a fantastic tool to give you the peace of mind of knowing where your business stands. And it avoids the stresses come tax time of going, I don't know what's going on, to I know exactly what's going on. Here's my numbers. So hopefully you guys are using it. We've got so many using it that are loving it. So I know that people are getting benefit, but I don't know how many people on here are using it. If you are, drop Flipped It into the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on it, because I'm always looking for customer feedback. Here we go. I believe you should be transparent when promoting Flipped It in your videos. Refer to it as your app so viewers are clearly aware that this app I use kind of language. Love your videos. Well, for the majority of the time, I had a video sales letter that was literally my face on the front of the landing page. And there's been a lot of heavy. I'm sure most people are aware that it's our software. And it's I don't know. Regardless, I don't know if that needs to be disclaimed in every single video. But anyway, it's a fantastic tool, regardless of whether or not it's mine or whether or not it's somebody else's. I use it, I love it, and I want others to use it as well. I just use my autism brain to remember how much I paid for stuff. Well, sounds like you need flipped it. I remember you mentioning in one of your videos shipping DVDs and games in prepaid tracked domestic letters. Do you just slip in the DVD? So I use padded mailers. I don't use any form of padding, so I just throw it into a padded mailer. I use the medium track post envelope, which is for a single DVD or a video game. 2 to 3 DVDs I put into a small padded mailer, extra small padded mailer, I should say. And then 3 to 9 DVDs I put in a small padded mailer. And on a Band 5 Australia Post My Post discount, I get it sent off, 9 DVDs sent off for $8.92. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Pretty cheap. Allows me to be much more profitable. How much income do you get to keep in Australia before tax? I make about $50,000 to $60,000 a year selling goods on eBay. Yes, do this weekly, Matt. Fantastic, Sasha. Will do. How do you work out sell-through rate? We've spoken about that just before in this live. Checking the sold items quantity versus the active listings quantity. That ratio is your sell-through rate. Sell-through rate, you want to be over 50%. That's going to be a decent product. Mount Gravat's the bomb. Yep, Mount Gravat is a decent store. Flea market, I should say. Hi, what is the best application to help me sell in eBay Australia? I am in Sydney, but I want to start and follow your steps. The best application, if you're literally just starting out, is with the eBay Launch Lab. This is our 12-week program, and the next cohort starts on March 23. You can check out Mel's video and Renee's video on my YouTube channel, which is case studies of people that have gone through it. You can also check out the landing page, which has all of the results of, well, not all of the results, but a large number of results of our existing and past participants that have all done very, very well. And I truly think that it would just alleviate so many concerns for you. It's more about mistake avoidance than it is about anything else. Obviously, we show you what to do and you go and do it and you do very well, but it's also the money you save by all the mistakes that you now don't do, which is the biggest reason why the Launch Lab is so successful. Would love to listen in weekly to a Q&A. Well, Yankee Doodle down under, maybe we'll just do it every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Same time next week, hey? We've got about 15 minutes left, so feel free to keep dropping your questions in here, guys, and we'll keep chewing through them. Hopefully you're enjoying this live. Hopefully you've been hanging around. 270 actives, 45 sales in 90 days. Should I quit now, or is it worthwhile, guys? I think this is a question that a lot of us have at this point right here. 270 active, 45 sales. That's a lot of work. I know how much work that is to do that, and I commend you for doing that work as well. You should be selling with the ratio of 1 sale for every 100 active listings. You should be selling 2.7 sales every single day with that store for it to be done efficiently. 2.7 times 100, you should be 2.7. Oh, times 90 for a 90-day total. 2.7 times 90, you should have 243 sales and you've got 45 sales. So that tells me there's a couple of issues there. One is your product and another one is the price of your product. So there's a lot that we can work on there to uptick that revenue for you and get more profit in your pocket. It would need to increase the amount of sales that you're getting on a daily basis. With 270, you should be at 2 to 3 sales, 2.7 sales every single day. And that is totally possible. There's guys out there that are doing 4 to 5 sales per day with that same store size. So we only want to get you up to 2.7. Right now you're at 0.4. So it's not impossible to fix things from there. Hi, Matt. Great channel, mate. I'm just wondering if you use any apps other than eBay for scanning or researching DVDs. No. And we just spoke about this before with ChatGPT and AI apps. No, please don't. You have all of the information you need by typing in what you're looking for on eBay. Can you please show us the 90-day screens for your main store? Yep. All right. Sure. I'll just have to log out of my baby account and log into the main. Here it is. $26,127, 563 active, 479 orders, and I've got 5 in my draft bank. So if I was working on one sale a day average, 563 should be 5.63 per day times 90. I should have 506 orders if I was doing eBay efficiently, and I've got 479. So I'm about 25 sales off pace. And the reason why I'm off pace now versus pre-Christmas is because of the baby store. We're just doing 2 different stores and we're trying to put the same 20 to 30 hours worth of work in each week. And that's caused us to go from putting in $400 a day to $300 per day worth of active listings. And that depreciation in listing volume is depreciating the number of orders that I'm having come through. So you get more sales when you put in more money and more active listings. And I've just obviously lent away from that to put in $100 into the baby account. So that number, when it was over 500, it's now fallen to 479, but it's still in a very healthy position. You know, if I get those extra 20 sales and I can creep that number back up to the active listing number, my entire store is selling every 3 months. Everything in this garage, believe it or not, sells every 3 months, or almost, at least anyway. So hopefully you appreciated that. Selling on consignment, do you hold back paying out their 50% cut for 30 days? That's a really good point. Yeah. I think that's important because say something goes wrong and the item doesn't get received, or there's a break in the product upon arrival, whatever the case may be. You don't want to have the payout sent to your consigner and have a problem break down. So yeah, I would 100% wait 30 days, get full clearance, and then you're good to go. Where were we in the chat here? Got another 10 minutes though, guys. All right, so happy birthday, Perry. Yes, it was Perry's birthday. Are you shipping to the US? No, we've covered that. No, not shipping. Have you guys got a name for Mini Matt? We do, Cheesy, but I can't let you know what that is. That's the one thing that we're holding on to, the baby name. We're going to keep that a secret until mid-July when he's born. We figure the gender reveal is enough information to be given out there as a giveaway. So the name we're going to hold on to. My eBay account was suspended. Sorry to hear that's tough. Do you think there is merit in your prices are X% higher than similar items? The metric appears flawed to me. Oh, so that's the suggested price points that the algorithm is giving you. I would again go and use your own site on that, David. You know, like if you're new and inexperienced, I would price in the bottom 25% of those sales that you're seeing, and kind of avoid what eBay's referring to you. What I will say though with eBay's reference there is you are probably pricing up your items too high, because I dare say that eBay wouldn't be sending you a notification if you were priced in the bottom 25%. Now, I know, David, you've been selling on eBay for a little while longer, so maybe you're at a point where you're a little bit more experienced to not have to be down that low. But if they're sending you those notifications, to me, it wouldn't be so much as, oh, I need to just agree with eBay. It would be more, okay, let me go and have a look at the price points and see where I could drop the prices a little bit. Hello from Canada. Hello from Canada. Thank you, Rosemary, for being in here. How do the offers work? Sending to 2 interested buyers, but there's 4 views and 1 watcher on the listing. Not sure, but if I can send 2 watchers an offer, I will. So just do whatever eBay says. Just do that. I don't ask questions. If I can send an offer, I'm sending an offer. It's as simple as that. Are you stocking up on 80s and 90s nostalgic items? Not so much. I just sell DVDs, CDs, Blu-rays, video games. They sell the best. Anyone need products? Well, hit him up. Flashpoint USA. Flipped It is great. I signed up day one. Thank you very much, Connie. Pleased to hear that you're enjoying it. I am not shipping Anika to the US. We've spoken about that one before. Flipcoat jumped in with the $2.99 super chat. Make sure you all love and subscribe, people. That's awesome, mate. Flipgoat is Matt that you see down at the flea market that yells out, "Hey, subscribe." So he's doing that here in the live, which is brilliant. Love that, mate. I'll get you back for that $3 donation as well. I'll buy you a coffee on Sunday. Is it best to offer free postage even on heavy items like books and book box sets? This is a good one, Leo, because remember, we're never out of pocket with free postage. It's just a marketing tactic. This is us putting in the free postage as a marketing tool to say there's a perceived benefit when really there isn't. If you list a product up for $100, you could do $99.95 free postage, or you could do $89 plus $10 in postage. Both of those products are revenue based at $100, but you're marketing one with free and you're charging for the other. It's not 100 plus 10, because then you would be overpriced and you'd be getting messages like David saying your items are overpriced. It is just a marketing tool. And 70% of global eBay sales offer free postage. They're choosing that $100 product to be a $99 free postage versus an $89 plus 10. The numbers state that if you go with the marketing message of $99 free, you sell more. So ever since I heard that information, that's what I do. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry. What do we got? Using the patter mailers, have you had any issues with DVDs? No. Never an issue with the patter mailer. Thanks for the advice, Matt. Very frustrating. Not sure what we were talking about there, but no worries at all. How do you scan unlimited amount of barcodes without reaching maximum searches? I don't necessarily do that many barcode searches because my eyes are my barcodes nowadays. Like I can actually go into a thrift store and just literally scan through with my eyes, and then I only need to comp up the 5 or 6 that I'm potentially unaware of. When you scan DVDs for 6 years, you retain a lot of information up here, and that's the advantage. I was actually in a thrift store today with a lady, really nice lady from Byron Bay. She'd driven 45 minutes up the road, and she had a wall of DVDs that we were looking at where they were all priced at $1 each. And I walked in. It's got to be 20 minutes after she was there. She was there for a long time because she was new. She was inexperienced, and she was looking at this wall of DVDs, and she was a little bit lost and confused. She knew what she was looking for, complete series box sets. Yep, I remember that. She was a viewer of the channel as well. And I was wearing my checkered Vans, so she was kneeling down looking at DVDs, and she saw my checkered Vans, and she went like this. "Oh, it is you." And I was like, "Hey, how you going?" And she's like, I'll watch you. And it's just so nice of her. Really nice lady. We had a great conversation. But I walked in there and I grabbed it. And I had 5 or 6 really good DVD sets in my hand. And she was like, "How the hell did you just come in here and do that?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been here for 5 or 6 years doing this. I know what to look for now. That's my advantage. I've been at this for a long time." So when it comes to barcode scanning, you do need to do your barcode scanning early days. You do need to reach your barcode scan limits early days. But I can promise you right now, doing it will fast track your learning, and you won't be barcode scanning very long moving forward. So I can highly encourage you to keep doing that, keep reaching your limit, keep putting it up here in the memory bank, and you will keep selling well over the time period. Surely Baby Flipper will be named Kobe. I had 100 or so messages from people saying that the baby name was going to be Kobe. And between you and me and the 103 of you in this live right now, I kind of want it to be Kobe. I would love it to be Kobe. I think it's a great name. I love Kobe Bryant, as you guys know, but I think Kobe is just a strong name. Oh. Hello. Just turning on. Are you in the car?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Say hi to everybody. We're on YouTube live.
Oh, hi.
Hey, you should be sensible and not be driving.
Oh, you should not be putting me on.
That's naughty. Hey, I'll see you later because I'm on this call. I'll see you when you get home.
Okay.
Love you lots. Bye.
Love you lots. Bye.
Jeez, if there's any cops in here right now, she's getting a ticket. Yeah. So I don't know where we were just then, but oh god, I don't even know. Oh, the name, yeah, Kobe. I should have just asked her then if she thought Kobe was good because she says no. She always says no, so it's not going to be Kobe. But yeah, I would love it to be. Maybe if we have number 2, it could be Kobe. Well, we've got some super chats in here, guys. That's very kind of you. You don't need to be doing that. Let me get onto these. Flipgoat's got another $2.99. Now chuck it in the baby fund. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you so much, Matty. I appreciate that. We've got another super chat here. Love the channel, Matt. Go to channel, put user in timeout, hi user. Okay. I'd love to share these comments, but I don't think I can. Or maybe you could see the comments. I don't know. Let me get that off. Okay. Sorry. Love the channel, Matt. Do you have a protocol for reducing prices on items that aren't selling or they're just randomly during sale store maintenance? Do you have a protocol for reducing prices? So protocol for reducing prices for me is only after 60 days. So if you go into listings active and you go to customize table in listings active, you can add the start date of that listing. And then you get a really nice list when you filter it out for what is your oldest, longest listed items on the platform. Anything that is over 60 days length listed, you would need to go in there and amend the listing and create a new item number by adjusting the price and doing the end and sell similar. But if the listing is sub 60 days, unless you've drastically created an incorrect price point on your item, give it time. Be patient. But if it's over 60 days, eBay's starting to tank the traffic that's coming in for that listing. You would then need to do an end and sell similar. And the best way to find those listings is to do that active listings, customized search table, search high to low, end and sell similar, those ones. They're the important ones that you want to be ending and sell similars because they're the ones that the traffic is tanking on. That's my protocol. So and look, I'm not here to talk about Flipped It for the entire night, but that is on Flipped It as well. You've got a stale inventory tracker on Flipped It, which clearly shows you guys which are the stale listings and which aren't, and then you can find them as well on the eBay software too. But thank you so much, Cookster15 for the $7.99. That is incredibly kind of you. Flip, stop doing this, mate. He's thrown a $14.99 in. That's ridiculous. All right. I'm 100% going to be buying you something at the flea market to flip. David, thanks for the live stream. Incredibly kind. Guys, I wasn't on here for this at all, but that is incredibly kind of you. If you've got a question, I'm more than happy to answer it, David, even though we've been chatting away. And look, guys, I'm down towards the bottom. So we are at 6 o'clock. So it's probably a good time to be at the bottom. How about that, hey? We've been on for just over an hour. There's still 98 of you in here. So it's an opportunity for me to say thank you for being a part of the very first one. We're going to be here next Wednesday at 5 p.m. We're going to do it all again. And come armed with some questions. Have a think throughout the week. What could I ask Matt next Wednesday night? Because we've just got through that entire chat there. So whatever questions you may have, I'm going to be able to answer them. So write up a ton of them, throw them into the chat, and we'll get stuck into them next week. But thank you very much for being here. I found this to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you found it to be a lot of fun as well. And yeah, we'll see you again next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Queensland time. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.